Hello, I'm Zoid. I'm a musician, an electronic musician, and a jazz musician, and a music maker, and an educator. I run courses, make videos. And this video is on I Hate Models track Eternal Loneliness. I never heard this track before. About a week ago, someone asked, at user Mike Hennebanger suggested this, and I had to listen to it, and I thought it sounded pretty interesting. And I did a short the other day. I said, does anyone listen to I Hate Models? And I really never came across I Hate Models before, and there was like 22 comments. There was most people who commented really like I Hate Models, and one or two really don't. So that's a pretty good ratio of people that like him. So he's French, it turns out, and he's pretty young, and he's a DJ. I haven't watched any of his DJ sets or anything, and I haven't really listened to much either. Just listened to this track and listened to snippets of something else. So we're gonna look at this track and see how that goes. That sounds like sounds that have been looped, creating sounds out of recording stuff and looping it in very short loops to me. But the notes are nice. They have a sad quality to them, these notes. Which, you can't see. It's like it's playing an F sharp loop, and then it's like that. So F sharp, D sharp, F, or is it G flat, E, F. It's kind of around a 2-chord progression, which is a E flat minor chord, and a B flat minor chord. E flat minor, B flat minor. So the whole track is kind of based around these 2 chords, E flat minor, B flat minor, which gives it that melancholy thing. But actually, now that I hear it, it has that similar thing that Aphex does a lot, which is that it's ambiguous as to whether that's an E flat minor, because it's an inversion. Because G flat is in the bass there, so it could be a G flat 6 chord. Oops, not that. Like that. Oh, no, and then G flat 6 and then to B flat minor. So what's the bass note? We're not really sure what the bass note is. If it's an E flat, then it's E flat minor. If it's a G flat, then it's G flat 6. But just go back again. Let's have a listen again. Yeah, more of the opinion now that it's G flat 6 chord and B flat minor. But B flat is also an inversion. It's B flat minor, but it's B flat minor over F. So it's G flat F is the bass movement. So G flat, it's like G flat 6. That's what the chords sound like. So quite sad, the chords sound. And then these beats come in. The beats are great. The bass drum. That's a great bass drum. Really kind of nice bit of bass in the bass drum. The pad stands are nicely panned as well. I noticed that, like in the right and left, which they're doing notes that are. All right, so let's do it. Ba, ba, ba. Is it? All right. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, those pad sounds are around these triads, the E flat minor triad and the B flat minor triad. Offbeat open hi-hats there and the closed hi-hat patterns. All sounds nice. It's all very nice and techno-y. There's this little arpeggio part that's dancing around in the background. I think that part, the arpeggio part, now that I've listened to the track, this is maybe third time, fourth time, that maybe lets it down a little bit, the track, because that's what I find with arpeggiators. It's very hard to get like something memorable out of an arpeggiator, really. Like, arpeggios are best for accompanying something, like, for example, the Apex track On at the beginning, there's a great arpeggio. Actually, that's not really an arpeggio, that's more of a melody. But like an arpeggio in the background supporting a melody, that's great. But when your arpeggio is the melody, like, it's just not a great melody just to have an arpeggio going up and down, which is kind of what's happening here. I think it's varying a bit, like maybe it's got some randomization going on, but like there's no rhythmic variation. It's just like, so it might have been make this track stand out a bit more if it had an interesting melody. Yeah. Or, you know, there are some great tracks though with arpeggios for melodies, like Joey Beltram Drome. That track is absolutely got a sick melody that's just a arpeggio, but it's rare. But it is quite in the background element of this track. So it's not like supposed to be a main melody there. It's just like a little element in the background. So that it is a chord driven techno track. This one is a motive techno track. So it works on that level, but it might have been an even better track with a cool melody going on instead of an arpeggio. I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. Do, 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 do. So you're kind of playing that stuff. That kind of stuff. Yeah, that's nice sound design there. How the new synthy sound comes in and then it leads to like a psh kind of noise, and that's cool. Here at this point, the timbre changes are keeping the track interesting because it's still with those two chords and there's no melody. So it's kind of, it's 10 minutes long. It's a long track. So halfway through now, roughly, the timbre is changing a lot. So that is keeping it interesting. Higher organ sound. Interesting vocals there. Big breakdown. Beats come back in. I'm gonna play that again. Yeah, so after listening and working out this track and spending a bit of time with it, I think it's a well-made track with a good amount of emotional expression in it, good driving beats, good, definitely a nice track to play in a club set towards the end maybe. But for listening, I probably will get bored listening to it this many times at least. It was a good listen the first time, but it doesn't have enough to go back to again and again and again in the end for me. But I would not rule out checking out other tracks if you want to recommend other tracks of his. So a good suggestion, interesting to look at. It's from 2017 that. And he seems to be playing in France, Germany, Belfast. Pretty cool, all in August this weekend. Okay, that's it for this video, and feel free to give me some track suggestions or whatnot. And yeah, see you in another video.